bit of a strange week this week. Obviously, with our horses drawing so poorly in Pennsylvania, it really wasn't, I guess, feasible. It wasn't really feasible for us to, for me to go to Pennsylvania, neither Philadelphia or the Meadow, or the Poconos on Monday. So freeing up an opportunity for me to go to the sale in Goshen. I didn't really like the sale catalog that much. Not a lot caught my eye. Now I was approached by a couple of clients or prospective clients, I guess. Can never just drive, right? Always has to be somebody calling. Prospective clients, I guess, that wanted me to have a look at a couple of horses at the Goshen sale, which I'm always happy to do. So I did, or I'm going to, so I'm going to fly down there Sunday, have a look at those horses. I picked out 5, sent you guys a video. I had maybe 7 or 8 that I liked, but really those 5 were the ones that interested me. There's some good points and some bad points. You know, the entire sale, I obviously am going to have a little bit of an affinity towards, the Muscle Mastiffs. We've had a lot of luck with them. There was a really good looking Muscle Mastiff filly, at least on video, and, you know, look a little closer. Why is this thing crooked? I don't know. Look a little closer, and lo and behold, it's the 13th foal. So not exactly what we're after, but there were some horses at the sale I found interesting. So we're going to go down and have a little look. I guess if we're going to go to the Delaware sale, buy 6 horses and look around, I guess it doesn't hurt to go to the Goshen sale and look around. We'll see what we come up with. Good news last night out of Ontario. Flamborough Downs is somewhat, now obviously we have to save face. We do have horses racing in Ontario. That Flamborough is pivotal for us. It's a 15-minute drive from our farm to Flamborough Downs. There's a lot of classes there. We've done a lot of good there over the years, and to not race there was going to be a negative impact on us. You know, I would say we could easily restructure our racing format around Flamborough, but we'd be restructuring around literally a place that's 15 minutes that played a major role in a lot of our racing over the years. So mine specifically. So it really wasn't that helpful, but at the same time, I think a message needed to be sent. I don't think we played any sort of significant role in the decisions made. Now, having said that, maybe we brought attention to a lot of people on social media to what was happening, but it was a bit of a bittersweet outcome. When you look at the outcome of the whole Flamborough situation and look into it really closely, yes, they're going to put an extension in. They're going to build some infrastructure out so that there's a place for people to watch the races and have fun the way they're supposed to. Problem is that we're left paying for it. If you look closely, a lot of the some of the capital expenditure money for earmarked for horse racing from the government is being used to build this out, which is upsetting. Obviously, Flamborough and Great Canadian Gaming knew what they were doing. They're gaming the system as usual. And this is the frustrating part. As a horseman in 2019, you know, this is the type of stuff that's very reminiscent of 2012. You know, Dwight Duncan blamed the greediness of the racetrack operators in Windsor for his decision and pushing for his decision to revisit, and we know how that ended, revisit the Slots at Racetracks program. And lo and behold, 7 years later, all that we've been through, and here we have a racetrack operator that wouldn't even let our clients, the future of our game, whether it be 10 today or 20 tomorrow or hopefully hundreds in the future, a place to watch the races. I couldn't stand by and let that happen. I mean, how? And it's not that I did anything, but withholding our entries, people were angry and said, you know, you're playing into their strengths. My position is simple. we're all big boys and girls now in 2019, and if there's racetracks that don't want to race, then we shouldn't be racing there. Flamborough Downs is paid to conduct live racing, and the problem I had with this entire situation is whoever built the contracts that said all they have to do is supply live racing, which is what they were doing, should be fired. Because if you can't go into detail what live racing is to protect the future of our product, what is the good of you? What is the point of hiring this person that built the contract and all it said in it was they have to provide live racing, they'll get paid per race card. Now, again, don't quote me, I believe I was corrected. I believe it's $25,000 a card to turn the lights on, to have the track staff there, maintenance, security, added security, obviously. They're given like $25,000 a card. I believe that's the number. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. They're paid to race. So they clear money per race card. Even if it's $1. Even if they're writing down in a black pen somewhere, $1.06 cleared per card, that still goes to your bottom line. So they're paid, the government pays the purses, and all they're on the hook for is to race. What is racing? Well, that's when horses go around the track, apparently. It has no bearing whatsoever on providing an atmosphere that's conducive to a good time, a good experience for people at the track. And Great Canadian Gaming, shockingly, took full advantage of this, took up every square inch of Flamborough Downs for slot machines, which I don't blame them. If I'm a slot operator, I do the same thing. But there should have been something written somewhere that said live racing is you know, horses going around the track, but a positive atmosphere for people that are attending the races, whether it be in the form of slots or horse racing. That is not the case, and that was not the case. I would suspect if you look closely at the contracts, it's just a general contract that says live racing. It's mentioned a couple of times, and that's it. Whoever built that contract should be unemployed. You know, in this day and age, you're dealing with people that, these people openly admit that they do not want racing at their tracks, yet have no problem getting licenses and buy these racetracks, run these racetracks, and all they're after is the casino in that area. And my argument is the same one horsemen have always had. If it wasn't for us, there'd be no casino at Flamborough Downs because the town and the area would not permit it. Nevertheless, that's a moot point. It's an argument that's in the past. And in the present, right now, I can make it as simple. My stance, and I'm a horseman, my stance is simple. If you don't want to race, don't race. Take the money away from them. If you want to reprimand them for their stance on it, then go ahead. The problem is that Flamborough is kind of central to everybody and an important racetrack for racing in Ontario. They race in the winter. I suppose you could give those dates to London, and I don't know if Grand River can even race in the winter. But we shouldn't be racing at facilities that don't want to race. And this is what happens. All they're doing is trying to water down and diminish our product to the point where you can build a report and say, perfect example is their other plant, Georgian Downs. Don't invite anybody out. Don't have anybody come out. Fill short fields all summer. And then when the government looks, just say, hey, nobody comes to the track. The horsemen don't support us. We don't feel it's in the best interest of racing to race here because they don't want to race. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I would be shocked if Georgian Downs lasted 3 years. Shocked. And I think you have places like Western Fair Raceway applying for dates and not getting them. Then you have places like Flamborough applying for dates because they have to and getting them. And the entire structure of horse racing needs looked at in Ontario. Sure, I think behind the scenes the wheels are in motion to, again, cull racetracks if you want and reduce racing in Ontario. You know, this was a huge problem when we had the slots, and we fought very much against that. Because back then, racetracks didn't want to race, right? You only had to race a little bit, and you got this slot money, and nobody cared. But now racetracks want to race for the most part. Some of them do because they get paid to race. You know, you look at Mohawk in the winter. What do they race? Tuesdays, I believe. They have trouble filling that card all spring or all winter, and they really don't need it, but they don't want to give it up, right? Because they get paid to race. I get that, and I applaud. You know, I understand the thought process, but at the same time, we need to have a more streamlined system. Tracks that want to race can benefit from that, and horsemen can know that they're going to a facility that is pro racing. It's a tough hill to climb. Flamborough is such a difficult place. Such a difficult place to get rid of because there's nothing around. There's Mohawk, Grand River shut down, all the way down that miserable 401 drive to London. And nothing against London, but you're in the snow belt. You know, we've had multiple horses scratched over the last 2 years from an accident being on the 401 and not being able to get to the track. London Western Fair Raceway from my house, about an hour and 10 minutes. I don't know that I've ever gone there in an hour and 10 minutes on a race night in the last 2 years. Just seems like it's anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours given the traffic, which sucks, especially since Flamborough's right there. So I don't know the answer, but anyway, you know, short story long, so to speak. I'm glad that at least something's going to be built. I'm a little disappointed that, you know, again, we've been duped as an industry into paying for our own existence, so to speak. We are now going to be paying for this extension to be built at Flamborough for the most part. Whatever, it's going to be built. It'll be built, and we'll have a place for our clients to view it. So we're back in business, so to speak. We're going to be racing at Flamborough starting immediately. So that's over. You know, before anybody starts applauding us or patting me on the back, I don't think we played much of a role other than maybe shining a light on what was wrong in a very small way. But it's been at least somewhat rectified. So we'll begin racing at Flamborough Downs right away, starting this Thursday night, I believe. So we have the sale tomorrow. I'm on my way right now. I'm driving to race White Tiger in Pennsylvania. And then tonight I have to drive to Scioto to race West 52nd and Ailsun. All three have very similar shots. I think White Tiger's coming in sharp, hot, with a lot of confidence that he's back to his old self, at least on his way back to his old self. And if he races the way he did last week and gets the opportunity to win the way he did last week, I think he's sitting on certainly a faster mile than 56 and 3. I think he could probably try to mile 54 today if the track was good. It's a little colder today, so maybe 55, but that should be enough, hopefully. I see there's a lot of horses in there with slowing last quarters, getting beat on the front end, and White Tiger's coming in very sharp, so hoping for a good result. The equipment changes we made obviously benefited him last week, and hopefully they'll benefit him again this week. Same type of situation, West 52nd, probably third or fourth shot in the race, but drew the rail. One of the better horses drew the far outside. This track, as James pointed out last week to people when we were talking, sucks the life out of you. If you can't get if you get burned up on the front end at Scioto, and it's almost like the track turns into this uphill quicksand track. You see a lot of slowing quarters on the end of it. It'll get you. And I think West 52nd will end up with a good trip in front of what appears to be somewhat a hot pace. So good things could happen in that regard. And Ailsun, geez, that DeLovely Hall dropped in there. There's some good fillies in with her, but she's again coming off a couple of good miles. Speed's not going to be an issue. Confidence obviously should be an issue with her win in her last two starts. So we're hoping for good things. Then I have to get in the car right after the race, drive hopefully all the way to Buffalo. If I get there very late, I might sleep in my car like a hobo and just jump on a plane and go to Goshen. Nothing I hate worse than getting into a hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning only to wake up at 5 and catch a plane. 4 hours kind of annoys me. It appears that's exactly what's going to happen. So I may just crash in my car like a homeless person. Well, I guess homeless people don't really have cars, but sure they do. Lots of them do. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what shakes down. I'm going to get up, fly to Goshen. I probably will get a hotel because nothing bothers me more than driving long distances, getting it, you know, you're little musty. I want to get up and, you know, shave and have a shower. So, get on a flight at 6 o'clock in the morning for a 6 o'clock flight. So I have to be there at 5, park at the Buffalo airport, and jump on a plane Sunday morning. Now, plane gets me to Goshen at 10:30, which would be problematic in the past because sale starts at noon. Not a lot of videoing to do or inspecting to do. I've already told you which horses I'm interested in. If something else catches my eye, then so be it. We'll have a look at that horse also. But as of right now, there's only a very short list of horses I want to really have a real close eye on. I know the first one in the ring I'm interested in is number 19. So we probably have well over an hour to inspect any horses we want, which should be more than enough. Maybe do a few little videos, which is kind of not really going to help you guys because we're gonna purchase the horse before you see the video, but it will give us an opportunity to show the horse off for you. I see that most of our Ohio horses are sold out. GW Chrome has some shares left. I'm sure when you guys see the video of him in the near future, those will shrink up. He's a good-looking colt. Who's the other one? Oh, the other beautiful little fella, the Southwind Spirit. I understand why these horses are left. The Break the Bank K, you know, we gelded him right away. You know, what do you think of him? I like both colts. The Southwind Spirit colt trots beautifully, doesn't do anything wrong, put together well. Really like him, and I see that Carry a Big Stick was sold out now. Cat out of the bag. I have some shares that were held back for Carry a Big Stick. I didn't know that he was sold out until this morning, so I guess I can post some of those. What I'll do generally is hold back 10 to 20 shares of each horse, just in case I missed an email. That isn't me being a pig or wanting to be greedy and hold on to the horses. I'm terrified that somebody sent me an email that says, hey Anthony, you know, it's still not perfectly streamlined yet, where you just, sure you can want to buy shares, but we have to put those up there, and in the meantime, I'll personally get emails from Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Jane saying, hey Anthony, can I have 5 shares of this horse, 3 shares of that horse? Do you know what kind of an asshole I would feel like if I didn't get back to Tom, Bob, Jane, and say, I'm so sorry, you know, I put the horse up and all the shares were sold, yet those people had messaged me shortly after the purchase of the horse, full well knowing that the shares were not sold at that point, but I hadn't had a chance to check my email. Those types of things really bother me. So what I'll do is we'll hold back some shares, usually 10 to 15, 20 shares of each horse. Now I can tell you the gray horse has none left because somebody had called and that thing happened. And somebody had said gray is the new red or whatever the hell that filly's name is. Beautiful filly. Somebody had said, hey, did you get my email? Sure enough, I went back and looked and it was down further. And she's sold now. I have no shares and she's all sold out. I know in regards to Carry a Big Stick, there's 10 or so shares there, and a couple of the other horses. So now that they are sold out, I will be honest, I'm going to double check to make sure that didn't happen, and those shares will be offered first to the people that are sold out, because I noticed last night the last 9 shares of My Jazz were purchased. That person may have wanted all of the shares that were left, and there are 10 more. So those shares will be offered to the purchasing clients first. So the group of My Jazz will be offered those 10 shares. If they aren't spoke for in a day or so, I'll offer them to everybody else after that. So that's how we usually operate. I think it's only fair to everybody, and you can understand why that's so important for us. Anyway, the Ohio sale, as I said, 4, I think, of the 6 horses are completely sold out. The horse we bought in Illinois has lots of shares left, but I haven't seen that horse yet. Fox Valley Britska isn't here yet. So, do I want to stop here? What time is it? 8:53. Nah, I'm going to continue on. Fox Valley Britska isn't here yet. Hasn't made his way from Illinois. It's a little difficult shipping from Illinois. You got to get there isn't a shipper that brings it straight from Illinois. Doyle doesn't go out there, neither does Walter Whalen. What we're left with is having Joe ship the horse to Buffalo and from Buffalo to Ontario. I would suspect that will happen in the first few days of the week, and we'll get Fox Valley Britska. Another horse, got to change that name. Got to, and I know Kelly was like fuming that we were going to change names, and I understand from her point of view. You're trying to catalog these horses from sale to qualifier, and if there's a change of name, it screws everything up. I get that, but at the same time, Fox Valley Britska, I don't think so. That's not going to happen. So we're going to change that name. No, I don't think we are. I am going to change that name, and it will likely be in the next week or so. Fox Valley Britska, and the red is the new gray, or gray is the new red. I get the play on orange is the new black, whatever. Dumb name. So, and I don't mean to embarrass or upset the people that named the horse. I don't like the name. And listen, some people don't like the name Anthony. Can't help that. I can't change it. I guess I could change that, but I'm not gonna. So what we're left with is we have to do this quickly to appease Kelly to the point where she doesn't. There's not a murder, death, kill. You guys might know that reference from the movies. I bet you not a lot of people know what movie that's from. I do. Kelly may kill me if we leave it too long. So in regards to Fox Valley Britska, Kelly, I'm sorry, I am changing the name of Fox Valley Britska. So we need a name for Fox Valley Britska. You guys want to send in some names? I will make the decision in an arbitrary way and change the name. So you'll know what the new name of the Illinois purchased Indiana bred colt is soon enough. So there's that. There's the sales. We're going to the sale. The horses race. Geez, I had 2 winners last night. I batted 1,000. Frontier Cruise was the favorite and won. Elysium Lindy, Gary Gag, come on, man. Alsum Lindy, you can't enunciate, you can't spell that out. Elysium Lindy was a winner last night. Raced great. I backed him up, got a cheap half, and he finished off the mile really good, which is great because obviously this horse looks super comfortable on a half-mile track. He can leave like Usain Bolt, and he's smart enough to let you back him up. Should have a lot of fun with this guy as long as he stays sound, which it looks like he is. Should have a lot of fun with Ilsum Lindy, or whatever the hell he called him last night. Elysium Lindy should have a great run in Ontario. Another horse that will benefit from the Flamborough announcement that we can get horses back in there. That horse will definitely benefit from that track. What else? Frontier Cruise raced great. Obviously, easily the biggest mile of his life. He didn't just win, he did it convincingly. A horse his size shouldn't get around Grand River, and did. I immediately shot down any thoughts of racing him in the Autumn Series. Usually the Autumn Series is a Mohawk race, but I see they're spreading them out over the B tracks this year, which kind of sucks because Marzank Hanover, I want to keep her off a half, and now the Autumn Series is at Flamborough or something, I think. So I'm hoping there's something at Mohawk for her. We really just want to keep her away from the small tracks. As a 2-year-old, her knees are a little, just come on out there, a giant 18-wheeler. What a meathead. Obviously, we want to keep Marzank Hanover off the half-mile tracks, and her knees are just a little bit weak, so don't want to put her in any jeopardy. Probably going to race her. I just had this conversation with Daryl this morning via email before I left. I want to keep her off of the B tracks and let her grow up, and we'll race her another 4 or 5 times and shut her down. I think she's proven she's got some pop, got some talent, raced good the other night, and should have a good year. Now, I will bring up also that some people had said, Spirit of Dio, are we going to race her a couple more times? I know people want to race. My answer immediately was no, but we do got to keep her in shape in case she draws into the Peaceful Way final. So we may race Spirit of Dio next week, since she is going to be prepped to race. She is going to be trained up tight to race. Maybe we could race her in a 2-year-old trotting race. Not that big a deal for me. calls. 4 phone calls. Not that big a deal for me, and I think it's not a big deal for Spirited Dio. She doesn't seem tired or anything of that nature. We'll race her once more, I guess, and then she'll be shut down for the year. Arctic Force, it looks like he's going to be... I don't want to put Arctic Force in just to say we're racing him. The non-one is a 6,000 for 2-year-olds. He's just over, and it filled with an also eligible the other day, so the likelihood of him getting in that class is slim. The non-one at 2-year-old non-one is a 2 or 20 is tough. Some killers in there. So I would suspect what we're going to do, I was given another option, which was race Arctic Force in the Consolation in New York if he gets in. He might get in. So we're going to school him Tuesday, enter him next week in the 2-year-old New York Sires Consolation, and if he does not get in, we'll probably just pull his shoes off, and that will be it for Arctic Force for the year. Want to make sure this guy goes away fresh and sound, which he is, and comes back the same way in the wintertime. So that will be Arctic Force. Brush cut has already been turned out because of that big quarter crack he had, which is fine also. What else? The other horse, Zeb Sunshine, was castrated, and he'll be turned out immediately as soon as he's healed up, which is also good. What else do we got going on? 2 winners last night. Spirited Dio raced good this week. The Little Trotter raced really good. Enduring Strength this week. He'll race next week. And then we have all the fillies in on Monday. They all got good classes. Miss Brampton Beast drew 2. She's picked to win. Kevin's filly, Need Your Opinion, drew the rail. James is going to go up and race her. If she's not picked to win, that's a mistake. She should probably win, I would think. Probably our best shot to win outside of Capistrano, who's also picked close. She schooled awesome this week. Really expecting good things from this filly in the fall. And our other girl, Trafalgar, is back in and jogging now. You guys got the vet report on her. 90%, that bone is perfect. I would say another week or 2 of jogging, and she'll be 100%. We can start training her. Another filly, again, I thought the autumn series were going to be at Mohawk like they are every year, and they're at the B-Tracks this year. Not a big deal. We'll see how she looks in the coming weeks and month. We'll probably race her a few times, and then that'll be it for her this year also. So, I was assaulted on social media this week. It was brought to my attention on a number of fronts. One was selling horses at the sale that we could have sold for more money. Geez, wouldn't it be great if we just always did the right thing? Wouldn't it be great if we could just go back in time and decide that we were going to sell horses before the sale because we didn't get enough for them at the sale? And it'd be great if we entered them in different classes because they got in too tough. It shouldn't frustrate me. I mean, as I said a million times, I've been a trainer and a driver for 2 decades. I was in politics for a short stint. I got pretty thick skin. It's just frustrating to watch some of the comments on social media. You know, another one of our clients said that, we had a terrible year. I think I need to spell it out for people again that really don't understand the format of the stable. Yes, we have people that have invested money, I'm sure. That's on them. You know, our goal is always entertainment experience. Bringing people into the industry and showing them a good time for an affordable amount. The entertainment attributed to horse racing is minuscule compared to football games, baseball games, hockey. It is. That's just a simple reality. So if you want to go and break down what the stable does, you go right ahead and do that. At the end of the day, we are an unmatched entertainment entity in society. To the people that sent horses here and said, oh, well, they mismanaged their horses. Okay, I'll say that some horses, same as every stable on earth and every business on earth, can't always do the right thing. We've done a pretty good job. We had pretty near half of our horses or more 2-year-olds take marks. Some of them made money. Yeah, I think some of them could have made more money. Here's a horse like Frontier Cruise. 3 victories this year. He's got just under 10 grand made. Here's a 2-year-old pacer winning 56.5-mile track last night. He's got $9,800 or something made. Or whatever it is, 10 grand. He could have done better, but he didn't. But what I need to keep telling people, and people keep saying, I know you say you keep the horses, but it's so hard racing at 3 and 4. You know what? It's so hard racing. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but the industry is a tough place to make money in. And that is why we bring people in with the intention of showing them a good time, showing them entertainment, the experience that we go through on a daily basis in horse racing. I don't think we have ever, not one time, claimed you can turn a profit, make money, put your kids through college on the revenue you should generate at thestable.ca. That would be the opposite of every ad we've ever made. So for the people out there that are still trying to figure out, they lose money. Yes, people in horse racing lose money. Happens all the time. But the entertainment that they've been given, I lost money. I took my kids to the Toronto Blue Jays game this year. Lost about $700. That is twice as much as somebody will likely lose buying 1% of a modestly priced 2-year-old, bringing it out to the farm, watching it train down, conversing with the grooms, the trainers, bringing their family to the track on race night, watching the horse race. If all you lost was $300 or $400 for an entire year of that, I'd say it's money well spent. For the people out there that are still living in the 70s and 80s and believing that this industry is solely built on return on investment and nothing more, I don't think it should be that shocking that it's tough to turn a profit in horse racing. It's mind-boggling that people still believe that this is an industry that you can, on a regular basis, turn a profit in. Yes, Mark Weaver's out there watching this, which I know he's not. Yes, you can make money in horse racing. I know one person. I know two. One guy who claims that he can, and another guy that I know does. But if you're not Mark Weaver, I don't know too many people that regularly turn a profit. Somebody says, well, look at Tony Alania's barn. They spend a lot, they make a lot. Do they? Do the math. Tell me how much they've spent on yearlings last year and how much they made. Generally, it's very difficult to turn a profit in any size barn. One bad year just sucks the life out of you. Casey had a terrible year. Casey's one of the leading trainers ever in Canada. Between her and Bob McIntosh. And there's a lot more. I don't mean to offend anybody. There's a ton of trainers that do really well. But doing really well, seemingly, 5 calls? Doing really well, seemingly, is not the same as doing really well in reality. And sure, we do the best we can, and we've had some luck, whether it be globetrotting. Many of the horses in Ohio, at least the females, did well this year and turned a profit or at least broke even. But for the other ones, it didn't. We sold a couple of colts. Rose Run Valiant, I think, there's no way he can turn a profit this year, but I think he's still going to be a nice 3-year-old. I've said that time and time again. Horses like Trafalgar, horses like Frontier Cruise, we kept him. You guys all know the story behind him. We were going to sell him, we kept him, and we're going to race him at 3, but that's what our plan is. If we buy horses for a modest amount of money and race them, the point and the hope is that we can hopefully get some of it back at 2 and continue on the racing career, hopefully turn a profit or break even. And if we don't, we had a lot of fun along the way, and that's what the stable offers. For those of you that have that misconception that we've somehow put a prospectus out and we are in business to return an investment on for our clients, you are in the wrong place. You have come to the wrong barn. You missed your exit somewhere back there with one of the other trainers. All we guarantee is professionalism, hard work, hopefully a great experience for our clients. That is what the stable offers. So I apologize for the people on social media that are somehow out there crunching the numbers and trying to figure out why people keep coming to the stable and why our clientele keeps growing when we can't turn a regular profit for the average horse. It's because we don't do that. That's why. We'll set out a plan how we can make the $22,000 yearling purchase, American dollars, yearling purchase back for Frontier Cruise. By the time we pay 22, train him for a year, fully stake him at 2 and 3, you're looking at 50,000 Canadian. He's made 1/5 of his money back. He's got 1 year to make the other 4 parts back to break even. Can he do it? Probably. If he can't, we had a lot of fun along the way. Nobody lost their shirt. We'll sell Frontier Cruise at some point and move on. But that's the point, is that money can go spent somewhere else in society. You can go to football games and baseball games and hockey games if you so choose. But if you want to spend it with us, we'll give you the best damn time we can. and I think it's money well spent. That's the argument we've always made. That's the business model. For those of you out there that haven't grasped that, that's what it is. And that's why our clientele base continues to grow. That's why, even though people may lose some money and walk away from the stable, you know you were treated fairly and with respect. And if you have some money and you want to come back, we'll welcome you with open arms. That is the business model of the stable, just to set the record straight. So, that's a lot to unpack. 35 minutes. I don't even know how it's still recording. That's a lot to unpack. We're going to the sale tomorrow. Now, there's going to be a video at some point today. I have to get this done. There's going to be a video about Ohio, the Ohio Select sale. This is the butter on our bread the last 3 years. We need to be at the Ohio sale in forces. It's going to be a big deal, a big sale, and next year's roster of the place that has been the best to us, and the most welcoming to us, and the place we've drug the most revenue out of in the last 3 years. This is the sale. The #1 Ohio sale is next Friday morning. So I am going to make a big deal about it. I'm going to be contacting clients this week. I'm going to be putting lists together. I'd be naive if I didn't reach out and say, hey, Lawmaker's brother is in this sale by full count. Globetrotting Sisters in this sale by full count. I have my eye on about 5 Uncle Peters. That's right, Uncle Peters. They're in the sale that I really like. I want to go look at everything. The Racing Hill we have at the farm, beautiful filly, beautiful gait, seems to have a great attitude. These are all indicators also. We're going to get some pacers. Racing Hill might be a place to start also. So, that's an opening for this week. You're going to have lots of videos. The biggest video I want everybody to pay attention to is the Ohio video that I'll be making. We'll be on site doing videos for our clients. This will be our first big sale production of the year. And that will all be coming up this Thursday and Friday out of Ohio. I forget the place that they're selling, but out of Ohio this year. I'll call you right back at 7. Anyway, that's the video for this week. A lot to talk about. We're going to unpack the Ohio sale a little bit. A lot more on Thursday, but a little bit this weekend. Talk about how the horses race this week. Run through all the babies. Who's still racing? Who's close to being shut down? Who is shut down? Maybe when we expect to have them back. We'll talk about all that very, very soon. 37 minutes. We're all done the opening. I'm still 2 hours and 45 minutes from the Meadows. But Lawmaker, cheer us on. I guess it doesn't matter. You guys are going to be viewing this video after it's all done. Lawmaker, West 52nd, Ale Sun tonight, Goshen sale tomorrow. All our babies on Monday in the grassroots. Capistrano, Need Your Opinion, Miss Brampton Beast, Wiggle Delight, and our other girl, Inland Beach. All of them are going on Monday. Be back in a little while, whenever. Talk to you guys soon.